I'm Shawna Lee. This is Infinity Readings, and this is the reading for Aquarius for the spring Easter season of 2026. We're gonna, scan you on the 3D Earth, and then we're gonna go into the higher realms and see what the translation factors are there. So, Aquarius, your first card from the below deck for you for the Easter season is the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Usually this card symbolizes greed and whatnot. I get a light sense of that. I get a sense of organizing what we already have, maintaining what we have, and keeping things in balance. Yeah, organization is the thing here. Now, this can be what we've been working on. Organizing our life, organizing things, physical things in our life. This is kind of the sense they give me. Those little elves are symbolized usually spiritual energies or intuition, helpers on the spiritual realm that are unseen, that are trying to help you get your life organized, get things organized, this kind of thing. So you may have a scenario where we may not understand the translation factor between physical things and spiritual things. Now, what they're explaining to me is we may, there's a word for it, feng shui, like that kind of stuff. A placement of physical objects and how they actually can help or hinder us. Look into this, because this is what intuitively your guides and stuff are nudging you towards, is what I'm getting. We are sort of tuning into that, but maybe feeling overwhelming or feeling like we're getting lost in other details and kind of, do I have time for this? I don't know. But the thing is, just go along with your inner promptings to move things here or there, because it will refresh your energy zone, and that is needed to take steps forward. Here's the sense I'm getting. So yeah, on a deeper level, they're trying to feng shui you out of some energy problems. Okay. Aquarius. Next card on the physical realm here. We have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is about emotion, over-emotionalism. We may have had some news here that creates, kind of an emotional stance for us. There may be some energetic support here. You may actually have someone there that is supportive for you, trying to help you understand these emotional centers more cleanly. And it just may be emotional purging. We may have some emotions we need to purge. And knowing Aquarius and depending on, other things that you have in your chart, if you got a lot of air in your chart, you will have a rough time dipping into this center to release, and, every time you advance forward, there's a release valve that's got to go. You got to release some emotions. If you're not an emotional person, you will not evolve. If you don't like emotions, don't deal with emotions, don't convey emotions, you will have a hard time evolving. So I feel like the Aquarius is, maybe overwhelmed by some of this, or diving into it themselves and knowing they got to heal from certain things. This is all happening in their field, is the sense. Yeah. Okay. Next card, third in the row for the Earth realm. What do we get? We get the 9, the Hermit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get a sense here. We are feeling emotions and whatnot. We may need to take a bath, salt bath, whatever. We may need to rest. And I do feel a softer sense of the Aquarius kicking in and going, yeah, like I've put a lot of work and effort into my emotional side and purging. I feel on the other end, we are going to kind of take a break from, how do I explain that? I think we are healing. We're in healing energy, and we are diving into our emotions, as uncomfortable as it feels. We're allowing that to go through, because we know from a higher center, this will do me good. Once I purge this, then I may not have to look at things the same way again. And there's some, there's guides and intuitive nudges. All of that is working in that way. We're not resisting that in any form, I do not feel. And in fact, we may need a rest after. And we may be dipping into our emotional selves so much to purge for our highest good that we kind of need a break after, a de-stressing, if you will. of diving into a stressful. It's kind of like diving into stress and then feeling all the feelings of just rolling around in all that energy and then jumping out of it and going, okay, I need a break. I need some kind of a change of field. And if we go to our past here, Four of Pentacles, it's about placement of articles. And the thing is, we may have a storage house full of stuff, our stuff. Like, did we just move and we have stuff in storage? That's kind of the sense I feel. We have stuff in storage that's just kind of sitting there, blocked up. There's some kind of a stagnant energy that's here for the Aquarius. And I feel like the emotional purging will help you on a certain level, but then you got to get to the physical realm. There's physical blocks here. Libra had, interesting, the Libra had kind of a spiritual block that they kind of unaware of. Here I feel it's very much a physical block. Like we have to, move furniture. Like when I used to clean the house and stuff, I would change my furniture around because then you get underneath the couch, Otherwise you kind of don't get under there to clean. So you move your furniture, spring and fall, two or three times a year. And certain people drive them nuts, like quit moving the furniture around, but it's like, that's how I clean. And then I know it's clean and then I, can move forward. Otherwise you move it back. So it gives a fresh energy field. This is what I'm getting. This is what they need. And I think it's coming for you because in the future you're relaxing from it. So there's a sense of relief. So there's a sense of something changing, right? So let's get into the second row here. Sorry, my window's open. I'm going to leave it open. You're going to hear noises. Me and Libra had a little adventure in the last reading. It's all good. It's all good. The universe is speaking to everybody. Take in your surroundings. Okay, so on top of the Four of Pentacles, what do we get from the Curious Creatures Tarot? We get the Ten of Pentacles. Well, there it is. So we have an abundance, a storehouse of stuff. And that was the sense I get. Is like we got in bulk and we got behind us. Yeah, so there's a sense of needing to organize this to a certain degree and be respectful of it. I'm getting very much an Asian view of things. It's like, don't disrespect yourself. Just throw it in the corner and don't deal with it. Go through it. And again, there's that lady, she... Does it make your heart smile? Or what was the word? There's a phrase there. Yeah, like the smile. If it makes you smile, keep it. If you don't, let it go and let somebody else. That kind of thing. So we may have to declutter or de-stress somehow. I feel it's very much on the physical realm. So there may be an over-accumulation of stuffs that we need to go through. And we need to... realize it's still there. Because if we have stuff and, it's like the 6-month rule. If you don't use it for 6 months, you don't need it. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like we got stuff accumulating. And if we don't use it, then we need to get rid of it kind of thing. A clutter bug is what I get. But again, we're very wealthy, but we may not realize we're wealthy because everything's under cover of something, like in a box somewhere or whatever. So we need to kind of go out and replenish all of that. Not replenish, but replenish the energy by going through it and reorganizing things. That's what I get here. They want you to do that in your physical realm very much because we are abundant and just because it's in a box in the basement doesn't mean that we can't, we don't see it. We don't know we have it. That kind of thing is what I'm getting. So we're in a delusion here where we need to buy more stuff and we may have it in the basement. So go look. That's what they're saying. Okay. So carrying on here, as we move to the Queen of Cups, again, that energy of emotional healing, purging, this is going to be in the field. I mean, first, everybody's at a different level or stage of healing. So it's going to come at different times and different projections of this are going to hit you. I feel like the Aquarius, I feel like in their mental mindscape, they're going, yeah, I'm on top of things. But the emotional purging is symbolizing, no, you're not, because it's coming out when they don't want it to come out. They're purging and it's like, I don't know why. Well, I thought I did my work, and they're going, yes, but there's lots here, more here than we figured. So on top of that, Queen of Cups, what do we get from the Curious Creatures? The Knight of Wands. Okay, these fire elements in this fire year, right? We're in a fire horse year. Knight of Wands looking to our past. Yeah, I feel like there's something, and I feel like it's energy that we're dragging with us. Okay. And they're trying to stick to the physical realm here with this Aquarius. There is stuff that we have clutter. We need to declutter. This is really what I'm getting. And I feel like we just need to get a fire under our ass and get in there and go and do it. Because we have a lot to come from, and maybe we can share with others. Maybe we can, right? This kind of thing. And we need to get ourselves down to a place where we not only respect our things, but are very aware of what we have and what we don't have. How would you say? Very aware of what we have. Meaning, like, streamlining. This is what I'm getting. Streamlining. Trying to keep it simple. Okay. Knight of Wands, about taking action, and it's going, that horse is going to our path. So it's like we've, and the sense they're giving me is we're dragging all this stuff, and it literally may be stuff. Like I said, if you've moved and you got a warehouse of stuff or like a storage unit, go through that stuff and get rid of it. Get rid of it so that you don't have no storage. You're dealing with everything at your fingertips or not at all. Like, find a place for it. Find a home for it. Downsize. Okay, get that loud and clear now. 9, the Hermit. This is that sense of relief after it's all done. Like, so say you don't have enough money to pay the bill for the storage unit, so you gotta get all that stuff out of there. You gotta organize. You gotta this kind of stuff. So the Hermit is the relief after. It's like, whoa, I did that, and I'm in celebration of cleaning my life up in the physical and doing these things and attacking these problems and getting things, dwindled down to what I absolutely need, not excessive amounts of things. And that's the Hermit is the relief that we give ourselves, is knowing. And I remember too, I'll tell you a story about my son when he was a kid. Like, you get the 10, 11 stage where, you have your room and it's all a mess, and it's just a bloody mess, like the toys everywhere, everything. Like, and it's so much so that, it's chaotic. Like it makes your mind chaotic. You look at a messy room and it's like you can't make sense of it because everything's everywhere. Well, there was one point I was trying to teach my son, and I wasn't the best at doing this either, trying to teach my son to clean up for himself. So I would tell him to organize it as, put all these things in certain piles, and then I'll help you organize those piles. So it was like, toy cars and then building blocks or books or whatever, and put them all in piles. So he kind of would get distracted from that, but he would get them all in the piles, and then we put it away. And then again, the next time I would tell him, he wouldn't retain that information. So there was one time where he was crying, and I said, what are you crying for? What's going on? And he was sitting in his room, and I'm so overwhelmed by all this stuff. He said, this little kid said to me, and I remember looking at him funny because it came from a deeper part, because he's on the spectrum, so he doesn't know how to organize certain things. He can organize overly, but other, there's chaos is okay kind of thing. And I remember looking at him funny and going like, what's going on here? He's like, Mom, it's just a mess and I can't deal with it. I don't know how to clean it. I can't organize it. So I don't know what to do. Like, I know you showed me, but I can't do it. And then I felt bad for trying to, because I know that he has challenges. I just don't know where the boundaries are. So I felt bad about that. And I was like, you know what? I'll deal with it. So the next day, I don't know, it was either that, I think that was the evening before, and the next day we'd go to school. And so the next day I cleaned up his room for him. Because you're trying to teach the kid, but sometimes they just can't learn these certain things they wouldn't learn. And so I went in and I cleaned the whole room. I took everything out. It was just spick and span. And he just sat in there and he started crying. And I was like, what are you doing? What's the matter? And he's like, oh, I just feel so much better not being in a mess. But he didn't know how to clean it. Like he couldn't. He's on the spectrum. He can't. These things don't translate well. And I was like, wow, and he was very emotional about it. And now I was very emotional about it because sometimes you don't realize the challenge internally, right? or externally, like we're trying to flip that here with the Aquarius. It's a thing problem. We have too many things, and we may be hoarding, like literally physically hoarding things. And there's a spiritual root to this that we got to get underneath. First thing is to clear this energy mindfully of necessity, not excessive. They're trying to translate that word excessity, but it's not excessive amounts of stuff. We need to streamline it. So it's the before and after, because they're going, yeah, we feel great and wonderful and all this abundance, but it's too much and it's too overwhelming, and it is creating an energy field that is not helping us for our highest good. So we need to clean the clutter. And again, what do you call that? Cleanliness to godliness, that kind of thing. It's in that kind of thought form. We need to clean this up so that we can feel more free spiritually, because it is blocking us in a certain realm here. We do get to the other end of that, or at least, steps to doing this. Now, that's that Hermit card. On top of that card, what do we get for the tarot? Yeah, the Fool card 2.0. Curious creatures, we got the infinity symbol, right? The red flag. Okay, so this is about jumping off in a new direction spiritually. I feel like for some reason, this Aquarius, it's clutter that's slowing them down energetically. Spiritually, they can't get nowhere because of this physical stuff that we have. So if you're someone that collects things, you may have to streamline that, or keep it to the essentials, right? This kind of thing. It's blocking up your energy field, or at least clean them and respect them in a way that we are like spring cleaning, kind of an essence is what they're giving me. Yeah, there's something here to that energy. They want you to go off in that new energy, jump in and feel that freedom of having gone through like feng shui kind of stuff. Yeah, look into that stuff. If this doesn't make sense to you, this might not be your reading, but if this does, and you have an accumulation of stuff, you have to organize, go through it. And because when we mentally log it in, then we realize what we're dealing with. Because I get something about, box it up, put it in storage, box it up, put it in storage. But then this accumulating to a degree that we don't know what we have anymore. Okay, so there's that. Spring cleaning is on the mind here. On top of the 10 of Pentacles, what do the aliens have to say about all of this? 7 of Cups again. Yeah, many options and many ways we can go about doing this. Like we shouldn't be stuck in this area. We should be able to expand. And not only that, I feel like go out in other areas. Like if we have an overabundance of something, give to others. This is the best form of how to make you feel good about your life, right? Especially if you have things that are just sitting and collecting dust. If you're not making use of them, give it to someone who can make use of this kind of stuff. Okay, so we got that. 7 of Cups, that's what I feel very much, is share with others. Yeah, as much as you can in that way. And, I was thinking that too, because I got Aquarius in my chart, and my plants. I'm a plant person. I love plants, and they do very well with me. But, sometimes when you're living with a roommate, they don't like plants or whatever. And you got to downsize. You can't keep them all. It's like pets. You can't keep them all. You got to share, let other people, So this spring, I was thinking, well, I got people coming for Easter. We're going to give plants away because these guys got to find a new home. And I explained to them already, you're going to go into a different field. It's okay because we're still connected. It's all good. But somebody else can enjoy you. And, you just pray that they have no negative energy, because if you have negative energy, plants ain't going to do well in your home. Or if you fight and squabble as partnership, your plants are going to die because that energy goes in the air. And then who's there? The plants, right? So all of this stuff. So I explained to them, I know. And I said, you're going to go into a new field. And just like everything else, everyone else, you're all connected anyway. On a deeper level, they're still in my energy field, but they're just living with someone else. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm mentally preparing myself to get rid of some of these plants, because other people can make use of them. If you have aloe, or you have a smoker in the house, they clean the air, all this stuff. So anyway, that's a little insight there. So on top of the Knight of Wands, again, looking to our past to clean up things and whatnot and taking action, because Wands is all about movement and action and doing. And the Knight does it very quickly and gets it done. You know, they don't let moss grow under their feet. No way, no how. So on top of that Knight of Wands, what do the aliens have to say? Ace of Wands, yeah. Take action in any way you feel you want. Like, because this is the year to do it. Anytime you feel like, yeah, I got to clean that shed out. Okay, get in there and go. I got to empty that storage unit. Okay, let's go. You know, just get on there and do it. Like, take action in that way, and you will be served. It almost looks like this guy's giving the finger. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Give me a moment here. It's like there's a third hand there that comes from nowhere. This could be an AI generation very easily. Give me a minute here. I feel like the universe is, you know, there's one thing to be said for, like, how do you take your own character and do what you want to do from your own core. And then there's instinctive character and an instinctive flow and an instinctive push, right? And I feel like they're both here. I got to make use of that finger somehow. I feel like it's like telling the past to F off with all the clutter. I think that's what it is. That's the line we're drawing. It's like, you know what? I don't need this clutter. And if I don't need it, then somebody else could need it and use it and utilize it. And this is the best time to transfer that energy. It will go well. That's what I'm getting there. Now, as we move forward, again, the Fool 2.0 going off into new energy. They want you to feel the freedom of being how would you say, unburdened by all of this stuff. Like literally, like if you go into a hoarder's house, right, you right away feel burdened. You feel like, holy man, how do they even move in here? Da, da, da. You know, you see some of the stuff on the internet, or you may know someone who lives in this way. And I don't care who you are, you got stuff like that going on. I know when I used to feel bad spiritually, like depressed, my house would reflect that. It totally would reflect that. When I felt happy, my house was cleaner because I had more energy. I would do more things, and then when you don't, you kind of let things slip, and you know, it's just the way it is, and that's the way that it is. So it's like, yeah, this is something with the Aquarius needs to dip into that heavily. Okay, so on top of that, Fool. What's the alien card we get? 10 of Pentacles again. And if you do, you will be greatly rewarded. Not only by, because the sense they're giving me is we got too much stuff here accumulating and we're not making use of all of the stuff. So we need to share with others. Like, because that's the thing, is now is the time to share with others, because a lot of people are not able to. So share with those that are less fortunate, and then, you know, you will in turn feel freer. And it may not be on the physical plane. It may be in a spiritual way that you get rewarded for removing the physical clutter. And I know, like, even my son, like, he was totally unburdened. He was crying. He was like, so happy. Thank you, Mom. I didn't know where to put nothing, and I couldn't make sense. And I was like, well, I didn't understand that you felt that burden. Like, you know, you don't realize that a child could feel that complex about things, but it's there. And if you don't realize it's there, you need to realize it's there. And that could be creating a block for you in your physical plane. Is literally things that are cluttered. 7 of Cups. Let's go back and see what Metatron has to say about, again, this worth of stuff that we have to organize it in a fashion where we're more efficient with it. We utilize what we have, or we share it with others, this kind of thing. On top of the 7 of Cups, we get the Water, alchemy and intuition. And there may have been an intuitive streak saying, you know, I got to deal with this. But again, we could have been procrastinating, or we could have been, and again, it is spring. It is spring. It's sprung. Let's go. Right? So spring cleaning is really what I get here. And it may be, we may have deterred this for some time. I feel like our intuition is knocking on our door saying, you know, it really would do us good to release some of this stuff. And so it's not going to be a shocker all of this. It's just going to really support everything that we're feeling intuitively anyway. And it's like, yes, we are going to get to it, this kind of thing. So on top of the Ace of Wands, again, the alien giving the finger to the way things were. That's so funny. Yeah. I feel like this new beginning. It's kind of vulgar, this, but the sense they're laying, we're going to cement some of this energy. It's like, it's creating a barrier to the way things were and actively going in the way things will be here. Okay. On top of that, we get the honeybee talking about service and celebration. And again, being of service. I'm going to leave the sexual part out of it. Being of service to others. If you have an accumulation, right, you got too many tomatoes, share them with the neighbor. If you got too much honey, if you want to use that analogy, then you share it with the neighbor if they ain't got none, right? That kind of thing. That's what I'm getting. And the honeybee really is about the vibrancy. Like, they work nonstop all the time for the queen. Boo, boo, boo. They have that purpose. And here the purpose is to declutter, de-stress, de-physicalize your life. Get rid of the stuff you don't need. Figure it all out. I think it'll be there for you. The universe is in alignment for this, so when you decide to do it, it will come off as being very efficient. And boy, why did I wait that long when it got done in a day, kind of thing. I fixed it in a day. And then feeling the relief on the other end will be the huge reward as well. And I mean, some people, because they're showing me that 10 of Pentacles card, right? Like garage sale would be an example of that. Like you throw your stuff in there and then you sell it at a highly reduced rate, and then other people can still benefit from the ability to pay less or half price, quarter price for it, rather than paying full price in the store. And then you still benefit because you get cash in return. So it's a win-win-win-win-win, right? That kind of thing. That's what I'm feeling. So on top of the 10 of Pentacles there, we have the Ankh, eternal life. Again, I'm leaving the sexuality out of things here. I'll save that for the Rumble readings because that's all rated R in there. I just put that rating in there because, one, they allow you to do that. It's interruptive commercial time, but whatever. And then, two, you don't get penalized for it. So eternal life, yeah. And I feel too, not getting bound up by the physical realm so much that when we're talking about life and afterlife, that we don't have too much clutter that other people have to deal with after we're gone, that kind of thing. So you may be someone who's accumulating a lot of things like land, property, what do you call that? Vehicles, and there could be a point here where we can, downsize that. So that people, when we pass, that they just not a whole bunch of just stuff laying around that other people have to deal with, right? It's a burden to them. Not wanting to be morbid, but somebody may be in this way where, we got to think about funneling things down, because again, we don't need as much as we used to, or we don't utilize as much as we used to, that kind of thing. So the clarification card, the astrology card here that we get for Aquarius is the Sun card. Yeah. I feel like it's highly aspected that we downsize our life on the physical plane. And by that, I don't mean the physical body. I mean the physical things that we've accumulated over time. We need to reduce those and make it more efficient, tighten it up a bit. Know what you want to keep and what you don't, and then share with others in order to express that outward. The sun is here, highly shining upon that. So I'm going to get the book here, and we'll read from the book the actual meaning. So some of the key words associated here are health, luck, happiness, fertility, abundance, joy, and birth. And they are saying, it'll change our energy field, which in turn changes everything on this list. Health, luck, happiness, abundance, joy, that kind of stuff. We are able to enjoy life better if we streamline, is really what they're giving me. So the Sun card is a powerful, joyous reminder of all that we have to feel grateful for in life. In traditional tarot, this card is often linked to health and healing, so it is always good to double check that this isn't an issue in a particular reading. It can also point to the vitality of life and fertility. It's a symbol of life-giving renewal, so it can also be a rebirth of sorts. Sequence to which this appears is the same for the death card in traditional tarot, but sometimes uncomfortable transformation and renewal depicted in this card is not in evidence here. So that means that this is a comfortable transition. And I do feel that. I feel like we may not be excited to go in there, but we're gonna tackle it. It's on our list to do, and once we do, we feel great and excitable about what we've accomplished. Is kind of the sense that I got here, and it's interesting they're saying that in the card as well. So any changes coming are welcome and for the greater good. So the Sun card asks that we bring a bit of positivity to a situation and look at it from a brighter point of view. Like, look how blessed I am, I can share with others. You know, instead of saying, well, I don't want to get rid of stuff and this, you know, it's look how abundant I am, I can share it outward, that kind of thing. Instead of wringing our hands, we are advised to take action from a positive position of strength and love. The qualities we must embody include those of joy, abundance, so that the outlook can influence the outcome. We are being counseled against gloominess and should be looking for a sunnier disposition in ourselves. The energy they're giving me is like this clutter could be contributing to our mindset of negativity. It could be contributing. Not could be. It is. Again, we may not give it credit for that, but it is. And that in itself, releasing that, can again, feel an unburdening. I feel like all of these readings are going to be about unburdening in some kind of way spiritually. And for the Aquarius, very much in a physical way. The Libra is very much in a spiritual way. There's something here blocking them, but they need to come across that and lift it themselves. We can't do their sit-ups for them. Here, nobody should be cleaning out your closets for you but yourself. But it'll be on your list because you're highly intuitively guided to do this and get rid of it, because it is a block that we don't see or realize, but we are intuitively being guided to uncover it nonetheless. And the Sun is here because we are in alignment with that. So that's all good, Aquarius. This is a decent reading. I kind of dwell on certain things, but it's basically decluttering, spring cleaning, that kind of thing. And how much better do we feel after we've done this? It's just like the other day, I have a bay window that I put all my plants in, and you go in there and then there's little bits of dirt, little bits of leaves that fall, and the cat gets in there and moves around and there's stuff all over. So I went and took all the plants out, cleaned everything out, wiped the windows down and everything, and then you put them back and you move them around in a different place, right? You go here, go there, and it's just there's a different energy there now. It's not just stagnant, right? And then that's what spring does too. Like, I don't know, wherever you come from, some people they don't have, but there is a sense of some kind of an energy shift in spring. And some people it's drastic, like here in Canada, it's drastic because you have ice and snow, it's melting, and then you have dirt and dust after that. So it's different field. So you feel more motivated. Because you see it in more areas, but there's places like Australia or Florida, south, that have, it's kind of warm all the way around, but there's times of the year, it's sunnier and you want it, there's changes that, and I feel like that equinox here that we're coming up on, that's going to be, that's going to highly affect the Aquarian, I feel, or this one that I'm talking to anyway, to get motivated to do things if they aren't doing that already. So Aquarius, that is your Easter spring equinox reading for 2026. So take care, guys, have fun and be kind, and we will talk to you soon.